In a matter of seconds, something that seemed impossible happens. Strategic targets located nearly 100 kilometers away. When the sun rises, only smoldering wreckage remains where millions of dollars worth of military equipment once stood. There were no fighter jets in the sky, no bombers in sight. Just a ghost that strikes out of nowhere and vanishes without leaving a trace. A ghost haunting Russia. This is the new reality that's rewriting military manuals around the world. There's a weapon that completely changed the rules of the modern game, and few truly understand its devastating power. Today we're going to uncover the mystery behind this silent revolution happening on the battlefields of Eastern Europe. Get ready to find out how 6 letters, HIMARS, became the nightmare of any enemy military strategist and why generals worldwide are losing sleep thinking about this technology. To understand the true revolution that HIMARS represent, we need to go back to early 2022, when the world watched the first hours of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. At that moment, few military analysts believed Ukrainian forces could hold out more than a few weeks against what was considered the world's second-largest military arsenal. The gap between expectation and reality became clear when the first HIMARS systems arrived on Ukrainian soil in June 2022. These high-mobility rocket launchers, developed by the American company Lockheed Martin, were not just another weapon in the arsenal. They represented a fundamental shift in military philosophy. The HIMARS system, which stands for High Mobility Artillery Rocket System, was originally developed to give American forces the ability to strike quickly and precisely in terrains where traditional artillery would be too slow or vulnerable. Mounted on a 6x6 military truck chassis, each unit can carry 6 GMLRS rockets or 1 long-range ATACMS missile. The real magic of HIMARS isn't just in its firepower, but in the technological sophistication of each projectile. The GMLRS rockets, which are most commonly used type, incorporate 3 simultaneous navigation systems that work in perfect harmony. The first system is GPS, which links each rocket to American satellites in orbit, providing precise target coordinates. The second is the inertial navigation system, known as INS, which works like a super advanced digital compass, able to track the projectile's position, speed, and direction independently of external signals. The third component is a course correction system that allows real-time adjustments during flight. This tech combo results in what the military calls a circular error probable of less than 5 meters. To put this in perspective, imagine firing a rocket from 80 kilometers away and hitting a target the size of a car with 95% certainty. That kind of accuracy is comparable to snipers, but with destructive power thousands of times greater. In August 2024, the military world was shocked by a maneuver few thought possible. Ukrainian forces crossed the border and occupied Russian territory in the Kursk region. This operation, known as the Kursk Offensive, was the biggest attack on Russian soil since World War II. The choice of the Kursk region wasn't random. This area holds crucial strategic importance because it houses vital energy infrastructure for the Russian economy, including the Sudzha gas metering station, which until January 2025 was a key transit point for Russian natural gas headed to Europe. Ukrainian forces initially managed to capture about 1,400 square kilometers of Russian territory, including the city of Sudzha. This occupation had implications far beyond the military aspect, directly affecting Russian energy exports and creating a unique territorial bargaining chip for Ukraine. During the Kursk offensive, HIMARS systems played a key role, giving Ukrainian forces the ability to hit strategic targets on Russian soil with surgical precision. Military reports documented multiple successful attacks on command posts, supply depots, and Russian communication hubs. But to truly understand the revolutionary impact of these systems, let's follow how a typical operation is conducted. The process starts hours before firing, when reconnaissance drones and satellite intelligence identify priority targets. Once the objective is identified, precise coordinates are sent to the HIMARS crew through encrypted communication systems. Each launcher operates with a crew of 3, a commander, an operator, and a driver. This small crew is intentional. Fewer people means greater mobility and lower risk. The HIMARS launcher can be positioned and ready to fire in less than 5 minutes. Once the rockets are programmed with target coordinates, the system can launch all 6 projectiles in less than a minute. But here's the most impressive part. Immediately after firing, the launcher can move to a new position within seconds. This tactic, known in the military as shoot and scoot, makes HIMARS extremely hard to detect and even harder to neutralize. By the time the rockets hit their targets, the launcher could already be kilometers away from its original spot. The introduction of HIMARS to the theater exposed significant vulnerabilities in Russian air defense systems. Systems like the S-300, S-400, Pantsir, S-1, and Tor M2, which were mainly designed to intercept aircraft and ballistic missiles, struggled to deal with high-speed, low-altitude artillery rockets. GMLRS rockets fly on relatively low trajectories, often using the terrain to mask their approach from enemy radars. Plus, their speed, about Mach 2.5, and ability to change course mid-flight make interception extremely challenging. Open source data suggests that the interception rate of HIMARS rockets by Russian defense systems remains significantly low, especially compared to interception rates against other aerial threats. To truly grasp HIMARS' transformative power, we need to look at one of the most impressive recent attacks, the strike on the Russian airfield in Belgorod, which destroyed 4 helicopters, 2 Ka-52 attack helicopters, and 2 Mi-8 transport helicopters, while they were undergoing maintenance, refueling, and rearming. This particular attack shows how modern intelligence and HIMARS systems work in perfect sync. According to Ukrainian Special Operations Forces, the target was identified, and its coordinates relayed to the HIMARS crew in coordination with the Ministry of Defense's main intelligence directorate. What makes this attack especially interesting is the type of ammunition used. The strike was carried out using M30A2 missiles, which release 180,000 tungsten sphere fragments upon detonation, covering an area up to 70 meters wide. These missiles represent a fascinating evolution in military tech. They produce the devastating effects of cluster munitions without leaving unexploded bombs that could later threaten civilians. The mechanism works almost scientifically. The fragmentation warhead explodes 30 feet above the target area to disperse penetrating projectiles. Imagine 180,000 tiny tungsten spheres, one of the hardest known materials, being blasted at high speed over an area the size of a soccer field. Each fragment has enough penetrating power to pierce light armor and cause critical damage to sensitive equipment like avionics, rotors, and helicopter engines. The choice of targets also reveals tactical sophistication. Destroying the Ka-52 helicopters is particularly significant as they are actively involved in combat operations and can launch LMUR missiles with a range of about 15 kilometers, making them tough targets for Ukrainian air defenses. Instead of trying to intercept these helicopters during combat missions, when they're protected by air defenses and evasive maneuvers, the Ukrainian strategy was to hit them at their most vulnerable moment, on the ground during maintenance. The cumulative impact is impressive. According to the Oryx project, Russian forces have lost at least 63 Ka-52 helicopters and 46 Mi-8s of various models since the start of the large-scale invasion. Each Ka-52 helicopter costs about $16 million to produce, not counting the years needed to train specialized crews. What makes HIMARS truly revolutionary isn't just their technical capability, but how they've fundamentally changed Ukrainian military doctrine. Before these systems were introduced, long-range artillery operations required large concentrations of equipment and personnel, making them vulnerable to counter-battery fire. With HIMARS, small teams can cause strategic effects disproportionate to their size. A single launcher can neutralize supply depots, command centers, strategic bridges, or troop concentrations that would previously require multiple airstrikes or prolonged artillery bombardments. This capability has allowed Ukraine to adopt a more flexible military strategy, focused on precise strikes against high-value targets instead of brute force attempts at territorial conquest. The result has been a more efficient war of attrition, where every shot has the potential to cause disproportionate damage to the enemy. The events in the Ukrainian conflict are being intensely studied by militaries and academics worldwide, as they provide a preview of what modern warfare will look like in the coming decades. The combination of extreme precision, high mobility, and concentrated firepower is redefining how we think about military power. The next generation of HIMARS munitions, including PRSM, precision strike missile, and extended-range GMLRS rockets, promises to double the current range, reaching over 150 kilometers. This will create even larger denial zones and force doctrinal changes in armies worldwide. To understand the scale of this transformation, consider that countries like Poland, Finland, Estonia, and other NATO allies are quickly acquiring their own HIMARS systems. Australia recently received its first launchers, while Taiwan and other Indo-Pacific partners are considering similar purchases. The Ukrainian conflict has shown that modern warfare favors systems that combine three fundamental traits: precision, mobility, and connectivity. HIMARS embody all these traits, representing a natural evolution of military doctrine for the digital age. Precision removes the need for saturation bombing that characterized past conflicts. Mobility enables survival in high-threat environments. Connectivity, through digital command and control systems, allows real-time coordination and decentralized decision-making. These lessons are being incorporated into military development programs worldwide. Countries are investing in similar systems and developing countermeasures. The result is an arms race focused not on quantity, but on quality and technological sophistication. HIMARS systems in the Ukrainian conflict represent more than just a tactical or technological victory. They symbolize a fundamental transformation in the nature of modern war. They've shown that small forces equipped with advanced technology and proper training can effectively face numerically superior adversaries. For the United States, the success of HIMARS in real combat validated decades of investment in precision military technology. For Ukraine, these systems provide capabilities that turn a defensive fight into strategic offensive operations. For the world, they offered a glimpse of the future of warfare. The question that remains isn't if this technology will keep evolving. That's inevitable. The question is how different nations will adapt to this new military reality, and what kind of doctrine and strategy will be needed to succeed in this new era of precision warfare. If you like this video, share it with someone who needs to understand how combat really works today, and subscribe to the channel for more stories showing how the world is changing.